Hello guys, today we are going to discuss about the respiration process. So in this particular video we'll deal with the respiration process. So respiration, what do you mean by respiration? Respiration is nothing but the breakdown of food material or the biological process of production of energy as a ATP molecule. Okay? In photosynthesis process we have seen that starch as a uh, storage material. It's going to be stored as a stored carbohydrate and as well as our sucrose. Okay, so this starch and sucrose after photosynthesis process, these are going to be stored, and in respiration process these are going to be break down in the way to produce ATP molecule for their energy purpose, because further for any metabolic process they needs ATP molecule, and that ATP molecule is going to be generated by the respiration process. Like respiration is the process where the food is first going to be break down, and after breaking down of the food materials it's going to be produce ATP molecules in several pathways that we will discuss in respiration process. Okay, so the major steps in respiration that we know is the glycolysis. We are going to discuss today glycolysis, but respiration is respiration is not included only glycolysis. There are some more processes are involved. These are glycolysis, pentose phosphate pathway, citric acid cycle, and oxidative phosphorylation. This glycolysis and pentose phosphate pathway together they are lead the citric acid cycle, and after citric acid cycle the pathway that happens, that is oxidative phosphorylation. This is nothing but our ETC, that is electron transport chain, where majorly ATP molecules are going to be produced. But glycolysis is the process where first ATP is going to be produced after breaking down of the carbohydrate molecules. Okay, so let's see how glycolysis is happens in plant system, and from where the sources, that is sucrose and starch, how they are coming into the glycolysis process, how they are undergoes in glycolysis process, that we'll see, and we'll discuss about that how many ATP molecules are going to be generated in glycolysis in when carbohydrate as glucose is used and as sucrose is used. Okay, in this particular slide you are seeing this is the energy investment phase of the glycolysis process. Okay, here in this particular slide we'll see the sources of the glycolysis in plant system, that is sucrose and starch. Okay, because sucrose and starch are the molecules or the carbohydrates which are going to be stored in the plant system, and it is a carbohydrate molecule, so they are coming under the glycolysis process, because this sucrose will further divided into glucose, and glucose will undergo into glycolysis process. Okay, so first we'll see sucrose. As we know that glucose and fructose together made up of sucrose. So first sucrose will be divided into glucose and fructose with the help of invertase enzyme, and later on this glucose will converted into glucose 6-phosphate by the help of hexokinase enzyme, and ATP is going to be used and it will converted into ADP. This is energy investment phase, so ATP is going to be used here. Later on, this glucose 6-phosphate will converted into fructose 6-phosphate. This is a reversible reaction. This sign means reversible, and this is irreversible reaction. Okay, glucose 6-phosphate can be converted into fructose 6-phosphate, and fructose 6-phosphate can be converted into glucose 6-phosphate. Now, fructose, it can be directly converted into fructose 6-phosphate by taking one phosphate group into it in the 6 number carbon of the fructose. I hope you guys know the structure of glucose, fructose, and other carbohydrates. That is necessary to like here we are not discussing in the with the structure and in not in the metabolism view point of view, where how these are converting into fructose 6-phosphate, how we are not going to in the reaction process. We are just seeing that how only in a simple way that sucrose how it is coming into glycolysis process and how many ATP is going to generate, how this process is leading the another process further. Okay, like total respiration how it is happening in that. In metabolism we'll see that how all the enzymes are involving and all. Okay, so as simple as I am trying to make you understand. So sucrose later on, it can be converted into fructose, and fructose later on fructose 6 phosphate, where hexose phosphate isomerase is the enzyme which is converting this fructose into fructose 6 phosphate, and ATP is using, and it is producing ADP molecule. And sucrose can be converted into UDP glucose as well as fructose molecule, where UTP are going to be used as a energy source, and the enzyme that is involved here, it is sucrose synthase. Okay, so now this UDP glucose, it will converted into glucose 1 phosphate, where one UDP molecule will be removed from the glucose molecule from this compound to this two compound, from this one compound UDP will be removed, and one pyrophosphate will is going to be added in the UDP, and it will converted into UTP molecule. Okay, and the enzyme that is helping here to carry on this reaction, that is UDP glucose pyrophosphatase, and later on this glucose 1 phosphate, it will convert it into glucose 6 phosphate with the help of glucose phosphoglucomutase. The number that you are seeing in the every molecules, that is 1, 6, these are nothing but the number of the carbon in the structure of these molecules. Okay, here in the 1 is means that in the first number carbon the phosphate group is going to be added here, and here in the in mutase means the changes of this phosphate group from 1 number carbon to the 6 number carbon. Okay, and this is the this both the reactions are the reversible reaction. Now, if you understood all, everything here, we are going to be see that glucose phosphate will converted into fructose 6 phosphate is the similar that we have seen here. Now, the main aim of the glycolysis process is that all the carbohydrate molecules, that is sucrose, starch, or any carbohydrate molecule that is going to be used in glycolysis process, that has to be converted into fructose 6 phosphate to go to the further glycolysis process. The main aim is to production of fructose 6 phosphate for carrying on the glycolysis process. If it is you are using in glucose as a glycolysis process, which is happening in the animal cells, there also you need to convert the glucose molecule into fructose 6 phosphate. This is the main aim of the glycolysis process. Okay, so from sucrose we are going to, we get that fructose 6 phosphate, right? Now we are going to see that how starch is coming into the glycolysis process. Starch can be converted into glucose directly by the help of amylase enzyme, and later on this glucose will be converted into glucose 6 phosphate, where in the 6th number carbon 1 phosphate moiety will be added, and the enzyme that is help in the glucose kinase. Okay, you need to remember all enzymes names and which are is the reversible and which is the which are all reversible and irreversible reaction. And starch also can be converted into glucose 1 phosphate molecule, where 1 phosphate molecule will be added with the help of starch phosphorylase enzyme, and later on glucose 1 phosphate with the help of mutase enzyme, they will changes the place of the phosphate molecule from 1 to 6, and it will convert it into glucose 6 phosphate, and from chloroplast it will go into directly into cytosol, and later on it will go to it will convert it into fructose 6 phosphate. So the main aim is to converting the carbohydrate molecules into fructose 6 phosphate. Okay, now this is amyloplast where glycolysis is going to be happen, and this chloroplast where starch is going to be stored. Okay, now from Kelvin cycle also triose phosphate is coming. Triose phosphate is nothing but dihydroxyacetone phosphate and glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate, which is directly joined to the glycolysis process as dihydroxyacetone phosphate. Okay, so we'll see now fructose 6 phosphate molecule. So from all the sources we got fructose 6 phosphate. Now this fructose 6 phosphate further converted into fructose 1,6 bis phosphate. Remember all the molecules are 6th carbon. Okay, here. Now fructose 6 phosphate converted into fructose 1,6 bis phosphate, where kinase is the enzyme where ATP is going to be used. Okay, remember this. This is also energy investment phase. Here you can see that here also ATP is going to be used, and it is also energy investment phase. But this ADP, if you take this reaction here, this ADP will give one pyrophosphate, one phosphate molecule to the ADP, and it will convert again ATP, and this UDP will be again used here in this reaction for production of UDP glucose. So here no energy investment actually. Okay. Now, so two molecules of ATP is going to be used in glycolysis process if glucose is the source. Remember, if glucose is the source. I'm talking about now as a glucose. Okay, consider glucose. From glucose, you are going to be you are getting two molecules of ATP is going to be used. Because in like while calculating the ATP molecule, you have to be considered that your source is glucose. Okay, you need to remember this. Then you need to calculate about how many molecules of ATP is produced if you use sucrose. Okay, here we are seeing that how sucrose and starch is undergoing in glycolysis process. Now fructose 6-phosphate converted into fructose 1,6-phosphate, and later on by the help of aldolase it will converted into glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate and dihydroxyacetone phosphate. This triphosphate is nothing but our dihydroxyacetone phosphate. Now from 6 carbon, this is 6 carbon compound is splitted into 3 carbon compound, 3 3. Okay, so glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate and dihydroxyacetone phosphate, and this glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate can convert it into dihydroxyacetone phosphate. Dihydroxyacetone phosphate can convert it into glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. And remember, one reaction, one cycle will be like, sorry, not cycle, one way for glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate, okay, from glucose, and one way when it is converted into dihydroxyacetone phosphate, again dihydroxyacetone will be converted into glyceraldehyde again. So this is simultaneous process. Fructose 1,6-phosphate, glyceraldehyde and dihydroxyacetone. First it will glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate also going to be converted into pyruvate, the end product, and dihydroxyacetone phosphate it will again converted into glyceraldehyde phosphate, and it will going to be produce pyruvate. So it is two. Okay, not a single. You can consider it is two. For glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate 1, when dihydroxyacetone phosphate going to be converted into glyceraldehyde, it will be 1. Okay, so this is all about energy investment phase. In this particular slide you are seeing that glycolysis energy harvesting phase. This is your energy harvesting phase where ATP is going to be produced. So here you can see the 2 it's written. 2 means for one glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate and one for dihydroxyacetone phosphate. Okay, so now glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate, you can consider that here is 2 molecules of glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate is there. Okay, you can consider, but now for now you consider this is one. Only glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate is going to be converted into pyruvate, and later on you can assume that dihydroxyacetone phosphate also converted into glyceraldehyde phosphate, and same pathway this dihydroxyacetone phosphate also follow. Now glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate will be converted into 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate by the help of dehydrogenase enzyme, where NAD positive will be converting into NADH. NADH is nothing but this is also a energy generating molecule. Okay. Now phosphate is going to be add here. That's why we are going to get 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate. One phosphate is going to be add in the first carbon, and in the like already in the third carbon we have 3 phosphate. So 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate. Bis means 2 in different carbon molecules. Now after getting 1,3-bisphosphate glycerate, and this is reversible, 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate converting into 3-phosphoglycerate, where one phosphate is going to be added in ADP, and it will generate one ATP molecule with the help of kinase. Okay, so ATP is going to be produced here, and one phosphate molecule is removing from here. Now, as we get 3-phosphoglycerate, we are getting phosphoglycerate mutase, this enzyme converting this 3-phosphoglycerate as 2-phosphoglycerate, just changing the carbon like phosphate places from the carbon molecules. This is also reversible. Now 2-phosphoglycerate annullose is the enzyme where they will take H2O. Water is going to be used in this reaction, and is to the help of annullase, 2-phosphoglycerate will be converting into phosphoenol pyruvate. Here no ATP and NADH production is going to be happen. Now phosphoenol pyruvate later on is converting into pyruvate, the main aim of our glycolysis process. This pyruvate, with the help of pyruvate kinase, and ADP is also going to be used, and ATP is going to be produced. So this is your nothing but your glycolysis process, all about the glycolysis process. So this thing is nothing but your anaerobic conditions when oxygen is you are depleting from oxygen. That time this thing is happening. We are not going to deal these things. Okay. Now, so this is all about your glycolysis process till sucrose, glucose, fructose, glucose 6-phosphate, fructose to fructose 6-phosphate, glucose is also converting to fructose 6-phosphate, and fructose 1,6-phosphate, glycerol dead 3-phosphate, dihydroxyacetone phosphate. Glycerol dead phosphate will follow the pathway, this pathway, and they will production of pyruvate, and again dihydroxyacetone phosphate converting into glycerol dead phosphate, and again they will follow this pathway. So this pathway is happening 2 times, remember. Okay. So I hope this is clear about the glycolysis energy investment phase and energy harvesting phase in the plant system. What is the sources of carbohydrate for glycolysis process in plant system, and how they are undergoes into glycolysis process. This is complex compared to animal system. Okay, according to me, because starch is converting into glucose 6-phosphate, sucrose is converting into glucose 6-phosphate, then fructose 6-phosphate, because here so many compounds are producing in case of plant system. Okay, but in animal system this is not the case, because directly glucose will go from here to here, all those things will not come. Okay, so let's see that how many ATP molecule actually produced in glycolysis process. So this is the simplest process of the glycolysis. If you consider as glucose, so 1 ATP, 2 ATP is going to be used. I'm putting one cross sign here, that means that used, and 2 NAD positive, 2 ADP, sorry, 2 ATP, 2 ATP, total 4 ATP is produced, and 2 NADH is going to be produced. Okay, why 2, one for glycerol dead phosphate, one for dihydroxyacetone phosphate. Okay, this way this is 2, all 2, for one NAD, one for glycerol dead phosphate, one for dihydroxyacetone phosphate, so total it is 2. So 4 ATP is used producing in the energy harvesting phase, and 2 ATP is produced used in energy investing phase. So 4 minus 2 equal to 2 ATP in total is going to be produced in glycolysis process, and 2 NADH is produced in glycolysis process if the source is glucose. Now in plant system we have sucrose, right? Main source is the sucrose. Okay, so nothing, just you need to multiply into 2, simple. You need to multiply into 2 the glucose. So in glucose we are getting 2 molecules of ATP, so 2 into 2, total 4 molecules of ATP, and 2 molecules NADH is produced in case of glycolysis, so 2 into 2, that is 4 molecules of NADH. So is the equal number of ATP and equal number of NADH is going to be produced in case of sucrose and glucose is the source. the number just vary. In case of glucose, you need to see on from glucose to pyruvate. In case of sucrose, the process I have discussed, but you need to, for ATP calculation, you need to just multiply with 2. Okay, so I hope it is clear the glycolysis process. Just only one little bit information I want to give, that is why we need to add phosphate. Okay, why we need to add phosphate here? Because in cell membrane, if the molecule will be only glucose or any compound, it can come out from the cell. Okay, it can come out from the cell. If it is in a negative, because phosphate is negative, if it is in a negative charge, it will not come out from the cell. I'm telling in a simple way. Okay, if it is in a negative charge, if the molecule in the negative charge, it will not come out from the cell, and the process will run as it is. If it will not in a negative charge, the process will not happen and the molecules can be come out. So that is why we need to make the molecules in a negative charge, so it cannot come out easily. Okay, so this is the reason the phosphate is adding in each and every molecules in the glycolysis process. Okay, so I hope it is clear. So if you like and if you understood, I hope you have understood. So please like and subscribe the channel. Thank you.